All right, I think we are. Yeah, pretty sure we're live. I think we're going good. I think we have some sounds going and whatnot. Let me know if the audio sounds okay or if it's all out of whack. Kind of have a new desk setup, so I'm trying to play around with that. So, anyways, hello everybody that's joined in. Wanted to kind of have just a chill kind of Q&A. So if there's any questions you have for me, go ahead and throw them at me, and we'll get to them. Tonight I am drinking a Rittenhouse rye with I get to called a bitter milk mix for old fashioned, and then I threw in some it was a Woodford Reserve bitters, so that's kind of fun, and then a little nice little cherry in there. It's nice. So that's my go-to for the night. But anyways, so kind of want to just kind of have a chill, hang out, and chat for 4th of July. I have a couple of things on the plate coming up. I have the Burson Funk, which I'm testing now, and it's part of the reason why I did this new setup. So I don't know if I'll just do this. So another thing interesting is I got rid of my little arm that was holding my camera before, so now I can just kind of grab it. Hope I don't make anybody sick. But so yeah, don't mind the messy room. But that right there is the Burson Funk. And I have it into the shit Freya. There's my little streamer. And I'm using the TT2. I got a new monitor, so that's another reason why I'm kind of doing this, redoing my whole setup here. Hopefully that's appropriate and not too jacked up by doing that. Anyways, so yeah, so that's kind of one of the things I'm working on getting done here soon is the Freya, but the Burson Funk. So I have it tied into my LS50 Metas in near field, which is actually pretty awesome. It's a pretty cool little setup, and I'm really digging on it a lot right now. And for how small that thing is, it's pretty amazing. It has a single-ended headphone, big boy connector, and then it also has the speaker, actual speaker taps. It also has a headset plug-in on the front, and then a mic plug-in on the back. So it's pretty dope. Hey, Kareem, Demetrio, what's going on? Top of the evening. Cheers, everybody. So, like I said, Rittenhouse rye, old fashioned. So, pretty delicious. Rittenhouse is actually a really cheap rye too. I've been seeing it a lot on as like one of the things, like, oh, cheap rye. It got a bunch of awards when it first came out, and it's cheap. It says screw top even. So I said screw it and try it. And for a mixer rye, like, it's pretty fantastic. Even for like a sipper, it's pretty decent. But anyways, and then so yeah, the Burson Funk. So that one's gonna be coming out. It's gonna be pretty interesting little piece of kit. A lot of functionality for something that's the size of a fairly large, like, notebook size, I guess. Yeah, so basically take like a standard notebook and then just add a couple inches in height, and that's kind of the size of it. And actually it has an Alps volume pot, which is smooth and very nice. It's probably it's the best Burson volume, best knob on the Burson I've turned. But it's, yeah, so far I'm really impressed with it for how small it is. They also sent over for the demo some op amps for rolling, so that's pretty good. I might try those out as well, just to see how it goes. But yeah, so that's one of the things that are coming down the pipe. I also had sent to me this funky thing, which I will be doing an impression on down the road as well. And this thing, it's basically, I haven't even opened it yet, but it's from Audrect from Hi-Fi Go, and it's actually, might as well open it now, right? While we're here, might as well do a jam thing. So what this is called the Atom 2, and what it does is it plugs directly into your phone. So I actually had this in the box just so I remembered, but it's the iPhone dongle. And so what this does is basically the same thing as iPhone dongle, but then adds a little bit more power, supposedly. If I can get this out. that over there. So I'll be doing a quick impressions of that. That will be coming down the pipe. Another thing I'll be working on is I'm working on some, or I need to get done, is the Mest. So the Unique Melody Mest version 1 I own, and Android generously let me borrow his Mest version 2s, and I've been really bad about getting that done to get those back to him. Wow, that's actually a pretty unique little piece of kit here. Really shiny. It's like a gunmetal. If I can get this to focus, it's like this gunmetal. It's pretty small gunmetal little piece of kit, and it's got, there we go. So I hope you guys can get that. If I can get that in the light, maybe. There's a little 3.5, it looks like, jack, and this just goes into the bottom. It looks like that. Boom, like that. Oh yeah, there it goes. And it populated, and it said, unlock your Jam. It has little lights blinking and stuff. So, and then you plug in your phone or your headphones to that, or your IEMs to that, and go to go. Kind of cool. So anyways, I'll be doing a kind of a impressions and what have you on that, and I'll compare it to the iPhone dongle because that seems appropriate. Put this back on its thing. But anyways, how's Taryn? What's going on, man? What are you drinking tonight, Si? Oh, yo. So let's jump into this. Yeah. So, enjoy your drink. Great job with Josh intro. Thanks. Yeah, the Josh intro. In fact, that's one of the things I've been working on recently. Is Josh helped me out. Kind of his benefit too, I guess, in some ways. But he's helped me do my first real video, I guess, where I'm actually editing it and not doing a live stream. But I did a thing with him, and so that's what I've been working on the side here and there in the evenings and stuff, to my own detriment. But I'm working on editing. It's about, right now it's at about 40 minutes. I'm trying to get it down a little bit further. But we did a bunch of whiskey testing and tasting and discussing. So expect that to be coming soon. It'll be my first proper, I guess, like where I did, like a proper video. Oh, that's right, Canada Day. Happy Canada Day. I was chatting with Andrew about that. So that's very awesome. Happy Canada Day. We'll be having Happy 4th of July here in this weekend, so it'll be fun. How's the wine? I got this lovely, like I said, old-fashioned rye. And then I have on the side in the wings waiting, I have this bad boy, the Breckenridge Rum Cask Finish, which is interesting. And then a good staple I have sitting in the wings as well is one of my favorites, the Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. Fantastics. Both of them are pretty good. And then for when I really want to get crazy, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Here you guys. We gotta do it old fashioned. We gotta do it this way, right? Drink local, Washington. I'm joking. This is just a giant jar full of water. So this is my latest thing I've been trying to do, because I know I don't drink enough water. So I repurposed one of my old growlers for a giant jug of water. But let's see here. Would you recommend the LCD GX for music? I would. Actually, I actually prefer the LCD GX for music over even the LCD 2 that I heard. Even more recently, there's I was thinking LCD Classic, but then I heard recently the LCD 2, the original one. I would actually say it's all in a similar vein, but a little more detail on that one. Well, the GX has a little more detail, a little more balance as well. Recollection. I honestly really liked the GX. I actually sold mine. Somewhat regret it, but I didn't use it that much. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to also pare down my collection to a better, more like things I use on a regular basis. And then, so also real quick, I was gonna say another thing that's been really fun for me lately is listening to the metas, the LS50 metas KEFs in this near field kind of configuration. It's been like, oh man, it's so weird how once you jump into like so I've had them down in the living room, but it's weird that how much I can enjoy listening to speakers and how much I miss listening to speakers like in a proper setup. Um, and be able to get a little bit more crazy because in near field I can crank them up a little bit more, or it seems like I can crank them up a little bit more than downstairs, and get a little more of the imaging and depth and a little more of that oomph without having it actually be exponentially louder. Whereas downstairs I'd have to crank it up to the point where wife would be upset or what have you. So anyways, so we got the Burson Funk, we got the this interesting Audirect thing. Hey, and guess what? It's got the lovely MQA, because everybody loves MQA. I'm joking. Not a fan of MQA personally. I think it's kind of a tacked on thing. In fact, I don't know if you guys saw the most recent. I think it was, who did that? Golden Sound. He did a cool thing on it. Oh, cool. Did a pretty interesting thing on that recently. About the topping, I think, or like what was the thing? But I don't know. They're talking about how, he was mentioning how the MQA was creating the filters on the toppings or certain DACs, not necessarily just all topping, was basically made them obsolete. So there's no reason to have them. I'm assuming. I only briefly read through it. Hey, Elnick, what's going on, man? Also, I wanted to show something. I got this. I became a subscriber to Whiskey Advocate, and this one came in the mail today. And the funny thing is one of my Instagram friends and whiskey friends was highlighted in it. And so this guy, pretty cool that he is in Whiskey Advocate for his. So he made a speakeasy in his basement, and I'm jealous because I want a speakeasy in my basement because that's dope. Who wouldn't want a speakeasy in their basement? Let's see if I can. Okay. Oh, there's they attached a poster to the bottom of this article for some reason, so I can't even get it at it without it being all crazy. And this whole thing is about the different people's like drinking rooms, and so he was highlighted as one of them. So that's kind of cool. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. Can't wait to read through this whole thing and see if there's anything I want to get into. What's up, Martin? What's going on, man? Yeah, Dominican Republic, man, that's freaking dope, man. That's so cool. Thank you for joining. So yeah, so that was kind of a fun thing, random thing I've been working on. Another thing I need to get done. I'm trying to think. Oh, I have the AirPod Maxes, the Apple AirPod Max. So I'm gonna do a thing on those as well. So that's the over-ear AirPods from Apple, and I've been using them pretty extensively. I have the same ones that Andrew Park or Resolve did for his review of them. So I have those same ones. So far, just a TLDR real quick. I really enjoy them for the versatility and capabilities of like jumping from like different things like your iPad to your phone to your computer if you're in the Apple environment. So it's really lovely for that. Really like it for watching like my on my iPad. I'll watch my shows or movies late at night or before going to bed, and so that's really fantastic. Or watching YouTube or whatnot. So I've been enjoying that. Music is a hit or miss with it. It's a little bit not my favorite thing for music. Like if I put it on the go, it's it is what it is. The interesting part though is the ANC, the noise canceling, is stupid good. I don't know if it's as good as the AirPod Pros, because they're obviously in your ear and they can isolate a little bit better. But it's really good. Like I'll have a fan blowing on me, and especially over the last week when it was super hot and couldn't even hear it. All of a sudden I'd hit the little button, and be like, "Did the fan turn off?" Hit the button's like, "Whoa!" So that was pretty cool. So they did a pretty good job with that. So that'll be coming down the pipe. Once again, I'll be doing my first, once I get it finalized and edited properly. I'm learning how to use Final Cut Pro. Had a little bit of foobar today on that. I did about 2 hours worth of editing this today, and then oh, you know what I realized? I think I'm like, why is my color all wonk? I think I'm in S-Log, and that's why I look all gray. let's play with that real quick. Here, you guys can see yourselves. And there's a Kefs. There's Leonardo. Let me see if I can do this real quick. I do it real quick from here. So I'm in. Let's see here. So anyways, so I was editing and I was trying to learn. I'm learning how to edit in Final Cut Pro, and where is this? I'm still learning the menus of this thing. Where is picture profiles? So what had happened was I was messing with it, and my hard drive filled up. Well, you guys, you might just have to deal with me being a little bit grayed out because this is shooting an S-Log. Why? Where? And I'm used to using. This is gonna be bad, but I did not set my A7S III up properly, and I haven't quite fully learned menus yet. You'd think it would be under image quality. It's not. Where is this thing? Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm ridiculous. R1. There it is. Done. Aha! We're cooking with fire now. Oops. Nope. Went right back to picture profile 7. Sorry. Excuse the craziness. There we go. I think that should be better. Maybe. Maybe not. It's still showing. It could just be that I have my lights way too bright right now too. It's a little bit better, a little bit less chaotic and crazy. Thanks, man. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, this is also a reason why I wanted to do this live stream like this, was so I can get some color kind of correction stuff and kind of get my setup more properly done before doing a proper live stream. I'm getting this thing all set up and good to go. So what I'm doing, this thing's gonna annoy me. 1 second. I need to pop this thing out so I can see what I'm doing. Make sure it's not overheating. Another thing I was trying to do is figure out the overheating, because my camera's been overheating lately. I think I figured it out. Apparently I had it on the wrong setting, which would overheat because it's creating too much of a codec. Now, let me change this light because it is bright. I could have also been, I might have just been blown out because my light was too bright. Sorry. Let's see here. How's the spatial audio? Spatial audio. So yes, George, that is amazing. The spatial audio is really freaking cool. On the AirPods Pro Max. The other thing is like it's like having a proper 7.1 surround sound, and it's crazy good. The only problem with it is you need to be in the Apple environment to make it work. That could be sorry, the figurines. Yeah, so I have a bunch. Actually, one of my all-time favorites. I didn't get rid of it because I'm a big Boba Fett fan, and Mandalorian lore fan. But I have one of the original or not original, but I guess it's original. Come on, it was the Disney one, the Disney game that came out like years and years ago, and then it just fell on its face, and they stopped supporting it. Disney, and I think it was like Infinity or something like that. Disney Infinity, and you had the little figurines. You put them on the little thing to bring them into the game, and you could play with that character, and that character be in the game. And you'd play as them. And so I still have the Boba Fett. Pretty dope. And then I have a bunch of amiibos. I have a bunch of Mega Man X figurines, and I have a bunch of amiibos. I'm a big Metroid and Mega Man fan. So that's what those figurines were. Let's see here. Yeah, Disney Infinity. Thanks, Taryn. Martin, DaVinci and Premiere Pro. So I was playing with DaVinci for a long time. Yeah, it was Amiibos before Amiibos turned. It's true. That's part of the story. Um, let's see. I really like DaVinci, but it's just one of those things like the color correction on it and being able to use the color stuff is fantastic. But then I don't know. It's one of those things. I need to play with it some more. I still have it on my computer, but I switched to Final Cut Pro because reasons, and so I'm trying to learn that, and I really like it actually. And then with the Apple stuff, it's just been one of those things. Oh, I should try that, Martin, for the 360 audio. I'm not sure if it'll work with the AirPods Max because I want to say that they have an issue with those. Like that spatial audio only works with Apple stuff, like Apple TV, that kind of thing. But it might work. Maybe it's the hardware that only works. But I'll try it. Maybe see if they have something. I'll crank through it and see what happens. Um, ZMF Atticus. Uh, I like the Atticus. Atticus is a fun headphone. All ZMFs are really good, to be honest. FPI for Tacos, great name, by the way. So the let's see, I'm trying to. I think I did I stream on the Atticus with, or I had the. It was honestly so. Sorry, brain was in a whole nother space. I was thinking editing videos, and now I'm trying to recollect all my Atticus knowledge here. So I want to say that I did one recently of the. No, I didn't do the Atticus. Sorry, that was not correct. I wasn't thinking of it. So the Atticus is the Bassy Boy, from my recollection. Now that I've I had to like refresh my brain on it. To Atticus, I have had limited experience with Atticus, to be honest with you. I've heard it at friends' houses. I've heard it at ZM Festivus. I've heard it at Can Jams and different demo places. But at the end of the day, it was limited. It was kind of those. I always feel weird when you're in those situations that you're sitting at a table, you're putting somebody else's headphones on. But my experience with that is that it was probably the most like proper like fun headphone from ZMF, like where it's like it had just a lot of, it was like more of the emphasis was in the low end. I mean, it was a fun headphone. It's a good headphone. All the ZMFs I've yet to try a ZMF I didn't like, if that makes sense. So I mean, take that for what it is, and then let's see. Kareem, thank you. Apps need to have the API to allow for spatial audio. Small selection at the moment, and we'll expand. Perfect. See, there's your answer. So I know that some of them work. I want to say Disney does work because I was listening. I watched the whole Mandalorian series, and you could tell it had spatial audio because it was, or if it didn't have spatial audio, that was some fantastic audio design by Disney. But yeah, it's one of those things. But I can see why people would or would not like the AirPods Pro Max because of, if you're like a hardcore audiophile and that's what you wanted it for, then probably not for you. If you're getting into it because it's like an ease of use or a use case, then it's pretty awesome. But if you're if you're in the Apple at like the whole, I was gonna say something controversial, but I was gonna say walled garden. If you're in the Apple walled garden, we'll just run with it and go with it. If you're in the Apple walled garden and you're in that ecosystem, then the AirPods Pro Max are great. And if you're willing to throw the cash at it because they're expensive, then they're great. I do think that they're going to just get better with time, and that this iteration will probably fall pretty quick. The ecosystem, yeah. Brain work well, ecosystem. But so yeah, I think that if you're into that ecosystem and you're heavily invested into the Apple world, then the AirPods Pro Max work pretty great, and you're not looking at them as a substitute for a proper audiophile headphone. Let's see. Any audio gear I'm excited about to hear? Headphones, amp, DAC. Current stuff I'm excited to hear. I've been really impressed with the Burson stuff lately, to be honest. The Burson stuff is, and I've only heard a couple of them, and I've only had two in house. But the two that I've had in house have been pretty impressive as far as sound. And I know there's some things going on with them that like I think some of them have blown up some headphones apparently. I have luckily not had any issues. I always test all my headphones first with my pair of Grottos or my Koss Porta Pros before I test. I always test head amps that way. But so I'm excited for that stuff. I'm really enjoying their things and what they got bringing to the table. As far as other amps and DACs, I hear rumors that Chord's doing something soon, but I can't imagine it being a big boy thing. It'll probably be something portable, just based on historical past events, I guess, from them. I can't imagine them doing any of their, like, I can't imagine them doing a new Dave. I can't imagine them doing a new TT2. I think the oldest thing they have is the Mojo right now, so that'd probably be something that they would do. Maybe the Hugo, like a newer Hugo that would still work with the older, the Mojo and Hugo. I think they'd be wise if they did an upgrade to those, but they would still work with the accessories that they recently came out with for those products, and or past products. I think that'd be a smart thing. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just me speculating and what I would like to see per se. Let's see, what else would be kind of interesting headphones wise. I'm trying to think. I would like to see headphones wise. I'm pretty stoked on the headphones right now, man. Like, I had the new Clears, the Clear MGs. I'm really digging those. I thought those were fun. I can see why they're not for everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing what else is coming from Focal. I'm getting more into speaker stuff, so I'm kind of interested in seeing, and I'm researching more into speakers. So I'd like to try more speakers down the road. I'm always excited to see more from Zach, ZMF, Zach and Bevan. I know he mentioned a while back that he's working on some new things, so hopefully he gets some time. I mean, I know they're slammed, but maybe I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the table with those new products, because I know he's been working on some new products that are kind of unique. So that'll be kind of fun to see what happens, and hopefully it comes this year. If not, then if not. Trying to think what else is the Sennheiser thing. I'm not really excited for that, but I'm interested, and it'd be nice to see a new upgrade to the HD800. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's something I would like to see, or I'd be excited to see, and I'm excited to see where they go with that merger, and hopefully that can be something that creates some products that are great, but we'll see. Hey, you got your project closed. Nice. Let the 200-hour burn-in start. Yes. The fun thing about that, though, is usually you can listen to them while burning them in, and it's kind of fun because you can hear it progress. I think I noticed the biggest difference is at like the 25, but mostly the 50-hour markers. Like, so it's like these certain points along those lines. Gosh, it is. I think this light is just bright. But hopefully that doesn't. I still look super gray. I don't know what's going on. Look pretty gray. That looks a little bit better. So, anyways, yeah, I would listen at the 50-hour marker, and then like the 100-hour marker, 150-hour marker, and then after that, I didn't notice too much of a big difference. But the 200 is the recommended. I like to see a high-end wireless closeback that's not dumpster. Yeah, Tara, that's fair. Honestly, I've yet to see any wireless, like proper wireless stuff that's actually good, like proper good, not just like, oh, this is good, but like actually like, whoa, this is good. Let's see, so I have like currently I still have them, and I need to send them out. Hopefully, I'm gonna try and get these out weekend, or maybe after 4th of July. I meant to send out this week down to Precog Vision, but I didn't get a chance. But so these ones, so you can only get these from like supposedly pro audio stores now. Apparently that's a thing, which is kind of weird. Like that you can, like they have like kind of like it's just odd that you have to buy specific things from specific stores that have a specific title especially for gear like this. It just seems weird to me. So if you want to get pro stuff, you have to go to a pro store, apparently. Kind of weird to me. They're headphones. Anyhow, so the Clears and the Clear MG Pros are basically the same thing from my understanding, as far as audio signature and performance. I like these. I think the OG Clears are probably a little more universally acceptable to most people, where I think these ones might be a little bit hit or miss for some, but I think overall they're more in line with that. And I'm telling you what, man, Focal just makes a lovely set of freaking headphones, man. My top favorite headphone makers right now are Focal and ZMF, and they just, look at these things, man. They just look nice. They're just cool looking, and I actually really like the clear MGs. The pros do look nice with that red and black, and it's like more like a burgundy like color, but they're nice. They're very nice, lovely color. ZMF really does have the aesthetic. They got it nailed, man. They know what they're doing. Most of the time, I think. I was not the biggest fan of the Stellia when it first came out, but I have a set and it's grown on me, and I've really become a big fan of it. Let's see here. Elric, if they took the TT2 and ditched the marbles window and just put in a black box normal people could afford. You know what, Elric? Honestly, if you would take the TT2 DAC and turn it into something like the what's their little one? Blanking on it. Little DAC. It's the one below the Cord TT2, and it's around the Hugo Performance, not the Echo. Oh, it's the little one, and so it's like a little box. If they did that with the TT2 and just made it purely a DAC, that would sell like hotcakes. That thing is, yeah, because the DAC is what I mostly use this for. I do think the amp in it is really nice though. It's kind of replaced my Phonitor in the interim for like solid state use. I would like to get a M scaler eventually, but it's just really expensive for an M scaler. The cutest, thanks Sheldon, thank you. Long day, long day. Oh, so part of the reason I had a long day, I was I opened up the Final Cut Pro to edit some stuff randomly. I was gonna kind of do some final play around stuff. I was messing around and I did like 2 hours worth of editing last night, way late. And then so this afternoon I got a little break to kind of play around with it, and turned it on, and my SSD filled up. So that's one thing with Final Cut Pro, filled up my SSD because of the little edits you do. It slowly adds it to the file. Killed my SSD. Went from I had a 1 terabyte SSD filled up completely, and I was like, what the for 2 hours worth of edits on a 40-minute freaking video. And so I was like going through and getting rid of files, and in so doing, I accidentally deleted the whole thing because I didn't know what I was doing inside of Final Cut Pro because I'm still a noob at it. And yeah, I deleted 2 hours worth of work from last night in about 10 minutes this afternoon. So that's, my brain was like instantly like, okay, time to go cook some steaks. And so that's what I did. I had some steaks and poured myself a whiskey, and this is my second one. So, it is what it is. But yeah, the cutest. If they could create the Cord TT, now that would be interesting. That would be exciting. Actually, speaking of the previous question, if they would, that might be a cool product to come out with. That would be a completely new thing. If they came out with like a TT2, but like the DAC, so a cutest, what would the name of that be? Like it'd be interesting to come up with a name for that, right? But yeah, if they did that, like the same form factor, but maybe a little bit bigger to fit the TT2's innards in, into like a Q-Tist style, that'd be dope. Ultima 3, yeah. Let's see here, Martin. Proper wireless solution, Rode wireless go-to set with the Elite. Yeah, Legions are fantastic, man. Fair, yeah. That's pretty smart though. This Martin regarding the go-to using the Elysia on the go wireless. That's pretty smart. Josh, love to pour you a drink. So I'm gonna finish this one up, and I'll probably pour a dram of one of the other whiskeys I have here until we get going. So yeah, any other questions? Throw them at me, and we'll keep going. Another thing I've been working on a lot is obviously photography stuff. Yeah, I did recently. Just did some. Been working on doing IEMs, some photography for IEMs, and some LCD XCs. Those will be coming down the pipe if you pay attention to the headphones.com Instagram page. Those pictures should be showing up. I also have one more set of IEMs to look at. That's another thing I can do. I can do the Empire ears. I have the Valkyrie, the Bravado, and these are all the Mark IIs. So I have a couple of those I can do a checkout for. Elnrick, I like it. The TT, it would go really well with the Celeste. And Taryn, you're always my favorite, man. You know this. You have to let me know your schedule so we can do another Hi-Fi After Dark. You're my Hi-Fi After Dark co-host. The TPME, I like it. Sheldon, honestly, as far as workouts go, I actually don't. I'm not a big max out guy. I used to be, and I injured myself. So now I just do a lot of push-ups. I do about a lot of push-ups. I do Monday is chest day, so I do 100 push-ups, and I do a bunch of other random push-ups on top of that, and other TRX stuff, and then I do bench, incline, and then I do squats, body weight squats, no weights, calf raises. I do a bunch, and that's and then Tuesday I do back, Wednesday is bis and tris, Thursday is shoulders, Friday is legs and cardio. But I'm trying to do some new stuff. I'm working on getting some more cardio involved and getting some more high rate, keep the heart going. I have not heard the IE300, and so someone asked a question about a drink that I wanted to go back to it. A drink or a cocktail that I like that not many people might know about, and that would be the Monte Carlo, the whiskey Monte Carlo. Look it up. That one is very delicious. That is really yummy. It's made with it's a mix of a couple different there's a liqueur you put into it, and then basically it's an old fashioned with this liqueur. It's like a Dom something. I can't remember the name of it. But that one's really delicious. Let's see here. And so, reason why I brought that up, as I said, little known fact. Another known fact about me. As much as I have IEMs, and IEMs are a thing that I take pictures of and I do impressions of, I don't necessarily think of myself as a reviewer. I actually don't like IEMs. It's especially now that everyone's like work from home and there's not really a need for me to use them all the time. I actually don't like putting stuff in my ears. It's not one of my favorite things in the world. I like the IEMs for what they are and what they do and what they bring to the table. And you can get some really good value from IEMs, like fantastic value for price performance and that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, if you ask me, so I would say IEMs, headphones, speakers, as far as like what I would prefer to listen to. I'd probably prefer to listen to speakers more than I would headphones, but that's inaccurate, because I think headphones and speakers are more very use case dependent, because I love headphones, and headphones really allow me to like kind of narrow in and focus in on what I'm listening to and kind of escape properly, where speakers I can still be distracted and be, I can do other things, where with headphones I can usually sit down and drink some whiskey and like focus in on the music and just away we go. How do I feel about hobby communities? Do you enjoy participating in them, or is it better to know about them but not deep dive? So I've deep dived into a couple of hobbies. It's something I tend to do, and I've been doing it more recently. Taryn, that's a good question. I think hobby communities are super niche. I think if you find somebody that's into audio or headphones, if you actually look at the percentages, I'd say the percentage of like an actual proper headphone audiophile, you're probably looking at like, I can't imagine it being more than 20% of the headphone world being audiophile equivalent, like people that would go and buy a Focal MG Pro or MG or Focal Stellia or a ZMF, or it just seems kind of interesting. What's up, David? What's up? Let's see here, Scott, what's going on? Same thing with like, you get people into pens, right? Like, so that's something I've been diving into more recently, is you get into, so this is a Retro 51, and so this is a ballpoint pen. They're cool, they're nice, of course it's purple. But then I also have a whole bunch of like are these locally available? Yeah, let's see here. And you could dive in further. into it, and you can get into stuff where you start getting into, you know, some stuff like these things, and it's, you know, you get the fountain pens, and so you dive into that, and then with that comes, you know, you get some of these fancier ones that are like, this one's all abalone. Of course, it's not one to. Come on, you can do it, camera. I have faith in you. I don't have faith in you. Anyways, yeah. So with these, and then you get different inks. You get the inks into it too. Currently, one of my favorites is Writer's Blood. But beyond that, you also get, like, you have to get special paper into it. So I mean, that's something to think about. There's specific paper that has better writing qualities and capabilities than your normal everyday paper. And yes, Sleepy did get me hooked on this, Sheldon. So it is one of those things, right? And then you can go into, like, even cars, right? People that are way into cars. You have the people that are like the classic cars, to the people that do all the tuner stuff, to all that stuff, right? Like, so there's these different niches, and you can, depending on how strong your stomach is for each individual hobby, you can really dive deep and or as shallow as you like in all these different hobbies. And I find that fantasy. Oh, words, they fail me all the time. I find that fascinating. I don't know why I said fantasy over fascinating. Fascinating. But yeah, so anyways, I find it fascinating to dive into these different hobbies. You can, like, so here's another one, the keyboard community, right? So I actually had to solder this in, and I did all, you know, so all this came, this thing's heavy as heck, by the way. And this is the Drift Mechanics Austin. And it's, I mean, this thing probably weighs about 15 pounds, probably 15, maybe 20. This thing's a beast. Anodized aluminum with a big heavy weight plate here on the back. Has a plate in the side that I had to solder on each of the switches, and then I took each of the switches, and so the switches are the things that, I don't know if I can pull this. Here we go. I can pull the escape key off. So the switches are this thing right here, and that's the, you know, and so I had to solder in all of those onto the PCB. But before I did that, I took all those switches, took them apart, and I put lube, like lubricant, on them, and I put a film between the plates so that it would have this. And yeah, that's a thing. And this thing is not cheap. This thing is hundreds of dollars. And then on the aftermarket, it goes for even more. It's crazy. And then you go into the whiskey community as well, like the whiskey people, right? And I love these, you know, it's something I really enjoy. I love going in and seeing how shallow or deep I can go into some of these things. Now, if I really like it, and if the community's cool, I'll dive deeper and I'll keep going. And so far, I've been really enjoying, most of the communities I've ever dove into have been great. I've yet to find one that's not, you know, that's toxic, overtly toxic. Some of the audio stuff can be pretty toxic, and most communities have some form of that, right? But overall, I've been pretty lucky in that sense, in finding cool communities. But yeah, so I think that's one of the things I enjoy, is kind of shallow or deep diving on different hobbies and figuring out if it's something I want to pursue and make it a passion hobby rather than just something I'm into, or, you know, master of none, jack of all kind of thing. Yeah, so fun stuff there. How do I feel about, yep, that one. And okay, so to answer the second part of your Terrence question, so he said, do you enjoy participating in them, or is it better to know about them but not deep dive? Me personally, I do enjoy participating in a lot of these. I enjoy communicating with people. It's fun. So I find it really intriguing to learn more about people and see where they come from, and the humanizing factor, right? But as far as whether someone should deep dive or not, I would say another factor in all of these hobbies is the deeper you dive, the more expensive it gets. And that's pretty much a general theme across the board. The harder you go at any of these hobbies, it's like this exponential hike of price. It just keeps getting more and more expensive so the deeper you go, the higher the cost. So that's something to do to kind of evaluate and decide on your own whether or not these kind of hobbies are worth it to you. And that's when you decide. That's why you should probably shallow dive initially, Find what you like. If you like it and you're happy with it, then good, move on. If you like it and you get really passionate about it, that's when people will start to, buy stupid things, like buy expensive pen, even more expensive pens, and hard to find whiskeys, or super expensive headphones. Let's see here. Vinyl plus headphones, audio file doesn't match. I've listened to. I have a record player, and I listened to it with headphones a couple times. But yeah, I think generally records, though, I would generally prefer to listen to those off of a proper 2.0 or 2.1 stereo speaker setup. Just for whatever reason, it just seems more appropriate. It didn't sound bad on headphones overtly, but I mean, it seemed like there was just maybe the headphones, because it's such a focused thing, that you hear more of the flaws in the pressing of the vinyl rather than listening to the music, let's say. Yeah, Sheldon, yeah, so he definitely got me hooked on pins. I dove into the custom steampunk desk light community last night. It was a whirlwind. Oh man, I did see something the other day. I wanted to get it too. And it was this really cool like octopus tentacle, and it was holding a porthole type of deal, or it's coming out of a porthole of like a boat, and it was holding a lamp, and that was the light, and it was like, it was just cool. I wanted it. Hey, thanks to FBI Tacos. Have a great night as well. Just a quick fun hangout, nothing too crazy. I'll probably go for another 10 minutes or so. Anyways, Hobbies, my local dance venue just reopened to my fiance and I are going to go swing dance. Nice, dude. See, that's cool. Like, that's super cool. Like, that's when you can get your significant other, or if you can get a group of people and actually go and do a hobby together, I think that's cool. Like, that's when it really just that's for me, it takes off. If you can just really have like a social interaction along with like a passion thing, very cool. Let's see here. Hopping, what's going on? It's good. I'm good. Long day. I'm tired. My brain's not working properly, as is apparent from my past faux pas and effed up word stuff. Yeah, Martin. Even with DIY, that's very true. So actually, I'm having so on July 9th, we will have Justin from Amps and Sound on, and he's going to go over how he makes his corn scalas, which are these gnarly, big 15-inch woofers and the giant horn speakers. And he's gonna get all the parts lists. He's gonna go through how to make the cabinet, how to install everything, how he does the crossovers, all that stuff. So, and those are not cheap either. Even for a DIY project, those are, I think, I want to say over $1,000 just to get the parts and get everything ready, and then to take the time to actually build it. You have to paint them, you have to do all that fun stuff, or however you want to do it. So that's another thing. Like DIY, it's exponentially cheaper, but depending on how you do it and or how high you go with it, it isn't exactly cheap, but it is cheaper, right? Anyhow, yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at in this current stage. What are your guys' takes on some future content from me? I wanted to do more whiskey stuff. I want to do more, speaking of what Taryn was talking about, like the hobbies and stuff, because I do dive into a lot of different hobbies. I do want to dive into, like, maybe do more of these type of shows where we discuss different hobbies, because it seems like audio is one portion of our lives, right? But then we all, everyone I've noticed, another common thread in all these different groups that I dive into or jump into and whatnot, is they all have multiple hobbies that they're into. There's never like one person that's just all, I mean, there's some, of course, but I'd say majority of people aren't just about that one specific hobby. Usually they have tertiary, secondary, there's all these other hobbies that they're way into. And it'd be interesting to dive into that, like, see, branch out and kind of talk about more than just audio all the time, which you kind of see me do with like the whiskey fly stuff I'm trying to do. But I wouldn't mind doing maybe even photography, discussing how I do it, because I don't really think of myself as, I mean, it'd be interesting to see how I do it versus someone that's been doing it for decades. Like Martin's, I would consider him to be like a professional photographer, or Mr. Photography, or Mr. Hi-Fi. He's a professional photographer that's exponentially been doing this for years, more than I have. And so it'd be interesting to kind of maybe dive into those aspects of it as well. But yeah, so those are some of the things I've been thinking about and trying to figure out how to play into. And also with the I've been doing helping Josh Valor on his channel with some of the intros and doing some like storytelling, and I that's fun and I like that a lot. So I might try and figure out a way to do more storytelling as well with video, and maybe see if I can't do something. We'll see. Um, but I need to learn how to do better edits and get into that stuff. So I need to learn Final Cut Pro a little bit better. And then once I get that a little bit down, but it just takes practice. So I'm going to start pumping, hopefully, some things out with that, and I'll get better with time, and we'll go from there. But anyways, I don't want to keep you guys up too late or up too long in this. It's already been about 50 minutes. So if there's any other questions, let me know. And if not, if I don't get to them here, just ping me on the Discords and or the forum and whatnot. And then we can go over there. So hopping, yes, I am a huge video game guy. I don't know if it was obvious, but so this is my video game sleeve, and I don't know if everyone has even noticed it, but so you can see I have a Nintendo controller here. There's a Metroid, some different Nintendo characters, because that's what my first console was an NES. Legend of Zelda stuff, and so this is Samus. You can kind of see her here. It's her head, and it's the suit's forming on her as she's sitting there. I don't know if I can get always weird angle, but so that's Samus with her suit coming on. You got Mega Man, you got Dr. Wily on the inside, Ninja Gaiden on the back. Big fan of video games. I'm a huge, love video games. Currently, actually, I recently picked up Demon Souls for the PS5, so I'm playing through that, trying to get through that. I remember getting it on the PS3 way back in the day. I remember getting pretty far in it, and then just for whatever reason, I think another game came out that I really wanted to play, so it fell off, and I never beat it, so I'm going to try and focus in and beat that game. And that's kind of my new MO, is I've been focusing in on games and just trying to beat them and get them off get them done. I recently beat the God of War. I beat Ghost of Tsushima, 100% of Ghost of Tsushima. Fantastic game. Love that game. Ratchet and Clank. I beat Ratchet and Clank just recently. Just that one came in and 100% of that. Got all those done. Another beautiful. I mean, that game is beautiful. Freaking amazing what they did with that. And then, so Chef Steve, do you know of any racks for desktop amps? DACs getting too many. So currently, right now, what I have set up is I honestly, it's a mess. Dude, my space is actually a mess. As much as it's my wife's not pleased with it, but I actually have a rack. I have a shelf system over here. You can kind of see. So I have all my stuff. I have it stacked up with a bunch of notebooks and stuff, but I have all my stuff that I'm not using currently. So I have like my couple tube amps. I have a couple DACs, a couple solid states over there that I kind of store when I'm not using them, and that's where those go. In the meantime, as far as like a cool audio rack for the desk, what works really well is monitor stands. If you can get like a cool Amazon Basics monitor stand that's like a cool looking one, or just look at monitor stands in general for your desk. And that usually I've had really good luck with that. And currently the thing that my monitor's sitting on, and the kefs and what have you. So like to give you an idea, sorry for the mess. So this was a thing I built. It's just a crappy built that I stained to look nicer-ish. But I built that to go behind a couch so I could store, like put, like this, even the figurines and stuff, and put controllers on and whatnot behind the couch. And then the wife didn't like it, so we moved it to another space in the house, and it's just sitting behind a different couch in a different room and not really getting much use. So I was like, oh, I got this new monitor. I didn't have the monitor arm. I didn't have the mount for it yet for the monitor arm. So I said, screw it, and I threw it on this, and I was like, whoa, this actually works pretty good. And I needed to do the Burson thing with the calves, so I was like, hey, why not? Let's see what it works. And honestly, this has been fantastic, having that extra little height and shelf, and it gives you a nice little bit of space. But honestly, for like a quick DIY for any kind of amp DAC kind of setup, I do recommend, I've done that many times, is I had a couple different monitor stands that you could slide a DAC under and put an amp on top, or vice versa. depending on what it is. And that's worked really well for me as well. I think Monoprice has some glass ones. You can go on Amazon and get the Amazon Basics ones, or find someone that can do a custom one. But it doesn't take too much. You can even build your own. It's really not too difficult. If you don't mind having it be a little bit jank, like mine, this thing is no joke, pretty janky. It's not. I would not. It's good from far from good. If that makes sense. But yeah, I do recommend doing like a monitor stand. That's usually, I've had a lot of luck with those, in regards to having them on my desk and having them be like a thing that I can tier up, or at least have two different things and get some room back. Yeah, so that's kind of the last little bit. 6:55. We're going 55 minutes now. So yeah, hopefully everybody has a great 4th of July and happy Canada Day to all you wonderful Canadian people and folks. And we'll have to do this again. I kind of wanted to do something this week because I didn't really have anything planned for like an impression. So this is kind of the Q&A. Next week I will try and get one of the things I mentioned before. So either the Mest, the little dongles. Might talk about the Burson. I need to get pictures of that. So keep an eye out for. I'm probably gonna take that and I'll probably push the Burson pictures up towards the headphones Instagram. So check out the headphones.com Instagram. Let's see. Other than that, probably the Mest kind of jump off. Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. And maybe the Empire ears. I might do an Empire ears thing, even though I'm not big as an I am guy. So all right. Thanks, goodbye. Thanks, hopping chief. Our chef. So perfect timing because I can take my daughter to bath now and get her to go to bed. So hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. And if you need to hit me up on either Instagram or the forum, or if you're on the Discords that I'm on or whatnot. I know a lot of them are private, so I don't know how that would pan out. But anyways, you know who you are. And if you want to get hold of me, it's pretty easy. Generally, if you go on the forum or Instagram, I'm usually pretty available. So cheers and have a great rest of your evening. And Karen, you need to hit me up and we need to have a chat maybe tomorrow or something about maybe getting you on for the next Hi-Fi After Dark and then what have you. So yeah, thanks Martin. Real quick, that's kind of what I've been aiming for this channel to be. It's more about just hanging out with friends and chatting, like, you know. So I don't really want this to be a dedicated to only me doing live impressions. I think I enjoy this. I enjoy interacting, and I'd like to have more guests on. That's something I really love, is having guests on. So if you guys have anybody you know that would be cool to have on as a guest, let me know. Hit me up, and I'd love to have them on and chat and discuss what's cool about their life and what they're into and what hobbies they're into or what they make or what have you, especially artists. It's really cool. So anyhow, great chatting with everybody. Have a great night, and I will end it there, and keep an eye out for the July 9th stream with Justin from Amps and Sound, and I will chat with y'all later. So I'm going to hit the end stream once and twice, and have a beautiful night.